Hey, good afternoon. Actually, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to On the Verge. Today is let's see, what is today? November 25th, Tuesday. And this is another live episode of On the Verge. And we have some great guests with us tonight. We're being rebroadcast on about 13 different platforms. So however you like to watch or listen to your podcast, you can do that. Tonight, we're also live on YouTube if you haven't already picked us up on YouTube. And please feel free as we go along here tonight, since we are broadcasting live, to ask questions. And I think you're probably going to want to have some questions for at least one of our guests tonight, maybe both of them. I don't know. This could be really good. But again, this is the On the Verge podcast. I'm your host, Virgil Osborne. I'm your House District 2 rep. And this is the conservative voice of Southern Oregon. We also have some great sponsors tonight. I want to always give them the kudos before I start introducing people. But Twin Peaks Off-Road, that's my company. Andrea Williams Advocare, she's another great sponsor of ours. We'll have some commercials here in a little bit. Becky Holmes Insurance and Little Mill Media, who is actually the company that puts this podcast on for us. And they are here. If you don't like what we have to say, if we're a little too conservative for you, come down here and see Justin. He'll put together a non-conservative podcast for you. It's not that expensive. I'm sure he'll be happy to help you out. So if you don't like what we have to say, come see him. So anyway, with my intro over, we have a lot to talk about tonight, and it's been a really, really good week for Oregon. And let me introduce our guests first. I'm gonna introduce one of our candidates for office in Portland, and she actually took the time to drive all the way down here tonight from Portland. I told her she didn't have to, but she said, I want votes from Douglas County. I said, well, we can't vote for you in Douglas County, but we like the heck out of her. So, Siata, who are you and what do you do?
Hi, folks. I am Siata Thompson. I currently work at a hotel downtown. I manage the front desk staff, and I've been downtown the last 4 years. So I got to see Measure 110 in full effect. It was heartbreaking. I've been coming to Portland for the last 15 years visiting. And so I saw it when it was coming up and went downtown, saw the Christmas tree lights, did the whole thing, went to Goodfoot, took the bus, took the Max, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So last year I ran for Portland City Council District 4, so west side of town. Didn't make it, but there was a ton of people running, made it middle of the pack, and I wanted to stay plugged in. I was running as a Democrat at the time, and got invited to stay plugged in, and was invited to take on the role of second vice chair of the Multnomah Dems. That lasted all of 6 weeks when they discovered I don't want to, surgically amputate children and feed them a bunch of poison pills. So
we're going to have a lot of questions for you on that.
No doubt.
Thank you, Siata. Thank you for standing up for that. I know it's can be tough.
We're all very passionate about that.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Child sacrifice isn't my thing. I get it from my mom, apparently, and I'm the weirdo.
That hasn't been popular since the biblical days.
Right? Not a fan of Moloch. So yeah, we parted ways because they really got upset with me. They started recall efforts, and I literally just shook my head and was like, I'm out. I can't. And was in a bit of a wilderness, and then I'd been following a few of you guys online, and just prayed, did some soul searching, and was like, I still want to stay plugged in. And so I joined the Republican Party this spring. And after the transportation tax vote that the House did in the emergency session over Labor Day weekend, I decided to throw my hat in the ring. So I'm running for the House District 33, which was Maxine Dexter's old seat before she got moved up to Congress. And
fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. It's really awesome to have you. And you already have fans online, just so you know that we already have. Thank you. Welcoming to her. I also want to introduce the one and only Ed, the real deal. We have a lot to talk about tonight. But Ed, before I introduce you, because I know you only got a short amount of time with us, I also want to introduce my co-host Trent Drake, who is with us every week. And Trent, you are.
I am the chair of the Douglas County Central Committee Republicans.
Right on.
And
my campaign manager.
Campaign manager.
And thanks for always being part of this.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm part of the
without
furniture.
further ado, I want to go ahead and jump to Ed because Ed has some updates for us on the referendum, the signatures, and where we're at and what's next. So Ed, I'm just going to turn it over to you for a few minutes if you want to just tell us what we're up to.
Sure. So we decided to announce today to let people know where we're at, and it's amazing. It's amazing. You know, our target is 78,116 signatures we have to get. After about 10 days, we exceeded 150,000 signatures. We had set a goal for 100,000 signatures in 30 days. We hit that goal in a week. So what we're seeing here is an amazing outpouring from voters and from volunteers that are so dedicated that they've had enough. I mean, they're seeing a legislature that is going against the will of their own people. And we're seeing an Oregon citizens that are feel like they're taxed to the hilt. Their income is not keeping up with inflation and taxes and so on. And the last thing they want is more taxes and fees. And yet that's what the legislature passed. So I think this is this is an awesome message that we're sending to Salem. We are not going to stop at 150,000. In fact, I was just telling Virgil we're over 168, and it's going to continue to grow. We have volunteers out there that are continuing to gather signatures. They are motivated. We have voters that are reaching out to us. They want to sign this thing. We have businesses that want us in their businesses. Gas stations. I heard from a bank. The bank wants us in all their branches to have a volunteer stationed in their branches to help sign this petition.
That's awesome.
So
That's
it's
incredible.
unbelievable, the outpouring. So I feel very optimistic that we're gonna blow this through the roof. I think realistically we can get over 250,000 signatures. And what a message that sends to the governor and the legislature that you're not going to ignore us anymore.
Right.
What we don't want to strap our ODOT maintenance budget. What we want is to prioritize our ODOT maintenance budget. And that requires action from the legislature, me and Rep. Osborne and others, to make sure that ODOT has the flexibility to use the funds they already have to prioritize maintenance. So that's what we're urging the governor to do, is listen to the Oregon people and act as soon as possible to make that happen, because we don't want a single ODOT maintenance person to be laid off, and there's no reason that they will be laid off.
So I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
So there has been several petitions this year that have been floating around. You know, there's been vote by mail, some recall petitions, and some other stuff going on. But no single petition has done. I don't think I've ever heard of a petition meeting its goal under 10 days. And this not only met its goal, this petition doubled the goal under 10 days. What did you do different? And I know you were basically the author of this whole thing, kind of running it as it went. What did you do different that other people never have been able to do? Because I don't think we spent a bunch of money on this, did we?
No, we're running on a shoestring budget here. This is 100% volunteers. But we also have Jason Williams with the Taxpayers Association. He's one of the chief petitioners. He's awesome. I've really enjoyed working with him.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a mailing campaign where we're sending out petitions over the mail. And I just want to make a note. We're urging everybody to return those. Many of you have. We want to continue that. But I think what made the difference was a few things. One was definitely this had the public awareness. They were engaged throughout the whole session. They were opposed to these tax and fee increases. They made their voice heard. And then during the emergency session, there was press about it. So there was that awareness, and then we had the governor delay signing, right?
Yep.
And that also had public awareness. But the other element of this, Virgil, is we organized a team. We took the opportunity to organize, to sign up volunteers, to coordinate their efforts, to set up a system of reporting and distribution of the materials and training. We created basically a referendum machine with a massive number of amazing volunteers to make sure that we could get this done in a short period of time. So I think it was a combination of things, and that's why we're winning. If you combine a motivated volunteer base with a fired up group of voters and put an organization around that, you can accomplish a lot of things. So we're building a machine, and you and I are part of the Oregon Freedom Coalition.
Yes, we are.
This has been a goal from the beginning. Is we want to build a grassroots machine in Oregon because you see it every day in that building.
Yep.
Legislature is taking votes that go against the will of the people, and they hope we're not paying attention. They also push down votes, the opportunity to vote and even talk about bills that we know are popular with the Oregon people. So we need this grassroots machine that is prepared to push back against the legislature, and that's what we're building out of this initiative. And so that's why I'm so pumped about it.
Well, I'm Trent, I know you have a question. Ed, I just want to thank you. I realize we're all part of this, but you being that, you got out in front of it and you led the team, and you and Senator Starr and Jason also, and it made a huge difference. And Trent, you had a question?
Well, yeah, I just, and I know you said this earlier on Rick Dancer's show. This wasn't just a Republican thing, right?
Mm-mm. We have Democrats helping us gather signatures, non-affiliated voters, libertarians. We have, all of the above also signing this petition.
Right.
We have SEIU employees signing this petition. We have ODOT employees signing this petition. So this is an Oregon movement. It's not a Republican thing like the governor wants to frame it. This is an Oregon movement. It's an Oregon moment. This is unprecedented, I believe, in the history of the state. And I believe it is really an awakening and an opportunity for us to do bigger and better things moving forward.
Amen.
I also could I add, I really have to give a shout out for two other people that you didn't mention there. One is Nick Stark, who's the executive director of the Freedom Coalition, helping with this effort. And the other one is Jody Fleck, who is our grassroots director, all volunteer. She's amazing in helping organize and coordinate and do the logistics for this whole effort. Without her, none of this would have happened. So just want to shout out for her.
Well, amazing work, and what a great thing for our state. And I think the governor just didn't realize that she really stepped in at this time. Now, I know you got to run, Ed, and I appreciate you coming on and spending a little time with us, but there will be a lot more to talk about in the future, because I do feel like the Democrats are going to retaliate somehow. They'll do something, and I don't want to necessarily talk about all of their options because I don't want to give them any ideas, but I'm sure there's some stuff coming.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about what they are thinking of, and I don't think it's going to work out well for them.
I don't either. And what we need to do is, that's part of the reason why we started on the Virg podcast is we want to be transparent. We want to get the message out. And this podcast hitting 400,000 people in 28 days. So, I mean, we're getting a lot of coverage. The state people that watch us, they know what's going on, and they also know that there's no BS here. We only tell the truth. So
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, Ed, I'm gonna let you go. We're gonna cut to a commercial. Thank you so much for joining us, and everybody, keep up the good work. Ed, what's the website for Oregon Freedom Coalition and for?
So you can find Oregon Freedom if you like what we're doing with this referendum. please go and sign up at OregonFreedom.com, OregonFreedom.com, and look at what we're about and support that. And if you want to support this referendum, go to notaxor.com. And Virgil, I'd like to do a couple things. One is to thank all the volunteers, especially the petition captains who have kept this flame alive this whole time and will carry it to the end. It's unbelievable, the dedication that they've showed. I also want to make sure that the ODOT employees, the maintenance employees, know that we're behind them, we're backing them, we are supporting them. We want to prioritize their work, and we will fight to make sure that they all stay employed and doing the work that the Oregonians want, which is keeping our roads safe and well maintained.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, thank you, sir. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you many more times in the near future. And I'll look forward to being back in Salem with you. So keep up the good work and keep the message going. Thank
you, and Seattle. Thank you for running. Thanks for stepping into the breach. And I'm praying for you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, Ed. See you later.
Bye.
With that, we're going to cut to a commercial. Stay with us. This will be a short commercial break, about 30 seconds, and we'll be right back.
Is your 4x4 ready for the trail? Twin Peaks Off-Road is your first stop for maintenance, repairs, and custom upgrades. From differential services to winch installs, we do it all. Fast, reliable, and built for adventure. Don't wait for breakdowns in the backcountry. Call Twin Peaks Off-Road today at 541-900-0015 or visit twinpeaksoffroad.net. Keep your 4x4 off the roads and in the adventure.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we love our audience, and you guys are the ones that keep us doing what we do. So thank you for coming back and joining us tonight for another episode of On the Verge. Again, we're rebroadcast. Actually, we're live on YouTube and rebroadcast on 13 different platforms. So however you like to get your podcast, whether it be Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, you can catch us on all those. It's great listening while you're in the car. And we're always looking for sponsors. So if your business would like to come on as a sponsor, we'll be happy to promote your business as well. And with that, we have a couple of businesses here that do sponsor us, and I'm going to just read off the commercial for one of them. And this is Becky Holmes. She's a good friend of mine, and I'll just read what she has to say. It's that time again, a year. Let me start over. It's that time of year again, and I'm not talking about hunting season. I'm talking about annual enrollment for Medicare and the marketplace. To find out what Medicare just did to you, give my friend Becky Holm a call. She will take the time to explain your choices and help you come to a decision that's right for you. Plans change, doctors change, the plans they accept, or your medication list may have changed. Regardless of the changes, Becky is here to guide you through it. She's licensed in several states and based right here in Roseburg, Oregon. Call Becky Holm, 541-900-6001. And Becky is really good people. She will help you with the insurance. So please, use her. I mean, that's she helps us, and she's a conservative, and she helps this podcast. So with that, Trent, you have also one.
All right. I get to read our sponsor, Andrew Williams with Advocare. Fitness, of course, is one of my lifelong passions, being a strength athlete for years and years. Feeling tired and sluggish, or just worn down from the gloomy weather or back to school grind? It's time to get your energy and confidence back. Andrea Williams with Advocare helps people clean away those naggy mental cobwebs. I had to slow down because I have naggy mental cobwebs. Lose weight, boost energy with Spark, and feel incredible again. Visit healthyhabittribe.org. That's healthyhabittribe, all one word, .org, or reach out to Andrew Williams on Facebook and start feeling amazing today. I had my Spark this morning, by the way.
Did you? I have samples still. I've had it. It's a great product.
Yep.
I
love it.
We wouldn't promote a product we wouldn't try.
Yep.
So anyway, so thank you to both of them as a sponsor. And of course, Little Mo Media is also part of our show here. They're the ones that put it on. And Justin does a great job down here with for all of your media needs, audio visual stuff. He's really good at it, and we couldn't put this on without him. I'm not about to try to figure out how to. I'm staring at a whole bunch of cameras and lights and things I don't even understand, and to him it's just fun, second nature. So we appreciate him. Anyway, with all that out of the way, I do want to go back to our guest here, Siana. So I know Trent has some questions for you, and of course I have some questions too. But let me start with this, because I know you kind of started to talk about why you want to get into politics. But, you know, a Republican in Portland is like, I don't know, a fly in the ointment or something for those guys up there. I mean, to get the support is almost impossible, because they're a very liberal area. And as you can see by how much of a dumpster fire the city has turned into. So I'm thrilled that you are a Republican, and welcome to the party. What are you going to do to kind of get that momentum going so that people will go, you know what, I'm going to consider it?
Well, I mean, we've already seen in the last 2 weeks that people are fed up.
Right.
And one of the gathering stations that one of the volunteers, Wade, he's committed to being there 7 days a week. But this is in Northwest Portland, about as blue as you can get. And people are literally over the weekend jumping out of their cars, walking in as they're doing their chores and errands, and ranting, you know. And I happened to be there gathering some of the petitions, introducing myself.
You were actually getting signatures?
Yes, sir.
Good for you.
Thank you. Yes. So got to be there, and for like an hour time, we watched like 4 sheets get filled up.
Nice.
People are over it, you know. Here's how I figured, like, the people of Oregon are extremely compassionate, especially Portland. They put their money where their mouth is. They raise their own taxes between the SHS tax, Measure 110, all of these different ways, to the Metro tax, all the different ways they want to help the most vulnerable people. And then 5 years in, the problem literally got worse by 67%. And, you know, people aren't dumb, you know, while they're struggling over their kitchen table issues, they, you know, they're seeing their most vulnerable neighbors languishing on the streets, rotting on the streets, running out into traffic, and they just want someone to fix it. And ultimately, you know, being that I've worked in hotels, like I started to say, I've been on the ground, seen this, have to contend with people who are either on drugs or just not in reality, you know, while also protecting guests, protecting my staff, of course, myself, and then this person. You know, we've done the, let's just be nice to them and maybe things will make them go better. We need to step in and almost parent them, because they're obviously not acting out of rational thought, you know, whether they're in struggling with addiction or mental health issues. We get to take them by the hand and say, listen, I want you to get help, and we're going to take you to a place to get help. And for the time being, this is where you need to be. And if you choose not to be here, then we're going to need to take stronger action. But that's not the first choice I want for anybody. And then same thing for long-term mental health. I mean, this has been a decades-old problem across the United States, but specifically in Oregon. I'd like to, you know, once I'm in office, get funding from the federal government, which thankfully we have a president that sees clearly that we need to provide treatment for folks who are struggling. And so grants are being changed and now being offered for that. And we just need to get the money in and stop being an open rebellion to what the entire country has voted for, basically. To your question, it really is just common sense kitchen table issues. You know, obviously 46 cents is a drop in a bucket when you think about it on its own, but then when you add in all the current taxes that exist on gas, then you add in all the other fees, the EV mileage tax, the registration fee, all of the things that regular folks who are working 1 or 2 jobs, even those who may be comfortable, it's just like, why am I paying all this extra stuff? And for someone in the customer service hospitality industry, are you getting what you're paying for? And we just saw people say no.
No, you're absolutely right. I first off, I'm really excited to have somebody running up there that I think actually has a shot at winning, right? But I have watched since Measure 110, and people don't pay that much attention to politics until it's staring them in the face. Like all of a sudden your gas bill went up or your power bill went up. Then they start paying attention. I truly believe that when Measure 110 passed, I don't think people were paying attention. I think that it was like, well, this is a good thing, it'll help out, whatever. And the way it was written in the voters pamphlet, same thing. So you don't know what kind of garbage is really coming. I believe Measure 110 completely destroyed Portland. I believe it happened in Seattle. I think Seattle is a hot mess. It's a dumpster fire. And once hard drugs became the norm, I think Portland went down the tube too. Now we've changed some of that. We were able to claw back a little bit of that. Got about 85% of what we wanted. I can't remember the bill number. I think it was 2004. But would you agree? I mean, I don't walk around on the streets of Portland very often. I used to go up there for fun on the weekends, and
a lot of people did.
Yeah,
that's what I keep hearing. Is like, we used to go there all the time. Now, I mean, I used to go see a barber out in like 81st or 82nd and Division. And a few years ago, I worked at a 4-star hotel, and it was like, well, you do such a great job. They just had a baby, he and his wife, and I was like, hey, if you want a free night, let me know. I'll hook you up. And he's like, where's the hotel? I told him. He was like, we don't go downtown. This is a guy, big guy. He could probably handle himself.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Portland, who was like, no, we don't. I'm like,
well, for the longest time, we were the number 3 largest. Well, Portland was number 3 largest city for crimes, automobile thefts, and break-in. Actually, thefts. I think it was, but we were only behind. I want to say Chicago, and I can't remember the other city it was. But when I personally talked to the mayor of Portland in committee, because I really grill those guys because some of the stuff is crazy. Oh, the numbers have gotten much better. The crime's down. The violent crime numbers are down.
Sure.
It's easy to say that. It's easy to say that the numbers are what they are, but to me, I don't see the change.
Yeah.
I was in Portland a few weeks back for a little convention thing we did, and I did notice that downtown wasn't as, at least the parts I was in over off of Burnside, wasn't as dirty as I thought it was going to be.
Sure.
It didn't feel unsafe to walk around. We did go out at night much, but it didn't feel that unsafe to walk around. But what I did notice is there's nobody there.
It's
it's
a ghost town.
Yeah, they're just gone. I mean, there's boarded up windows. We were actually trying to find a Starbucks, and we found what used to be a Starbucks, and it's gone too.
Yeah.
So I hope that hopefully you can bring some change to Portland.
Well, I mean, no business is going to. I mean, we've seen all the headlines. All the homegrown businesses here taking off. Dutch Brothers, a whole host of. Rogue just magically shut down.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yikes. So it's just common sense. No business is going to invest. No one's going to start a business in an unsafe community because ultimately you have to recruit people from somewhere, and they have to consider their family.
Well, I mean, it's something as simple as parking your car in downtown Portland.
Right.
You can't. It's going to get broke into. We experienced that. I stayed at a hotel we stayed in 23.
Yeah.
And it's like they just knocked the dang window out of the car and stole the dash cam off the dashboard. And I can't do that.
Right.
I want to sleep in my car, and I want somebody to knock the window out while I'm in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'll ask one more question.
Yeah.
So one of the major buzzwords that's always been with the Democrat Party, as long as I've been in the legislature, has always been abortion rights. Right? And with that, I was a House Bill 2002, I think it was. They purposely put the transgender mutilation thing in with the abortion because they knew they could get it passed, and they did.
Yeah.
And it kind of got to the point where you couldn't argue with them, because if you argue about common sense about not mutilating a 13, 14, 15-year-old boy or girl, that's a great argument because it's ridiculous, but now it's all one bill. So if you're arguing against that, you're saying, well, women don't have reproduction rights.
Right.
So you're going to get faced with that question.
Sure.
I'm sure you're going to end up in some debates with current representative there. So I know I'm probably treading on thin ice, but I want to ask you your opinion on that.
Sure. I mean, I literally never liked abortion. I grew up in a Christian household, so all life is important to me. However, my focus is people who are currently alive right now. A lot of the young women who do get this procedure are considering the fact that they can't take care of themselves, much less another human being, or maybe have other children, small children, and now it's like, wow, the cost of another child they just can't handle. So for me, I mean, I'm not foolish enough to think that people won't use the procedure. I would much rather have it in place and for someone to take care of their needs, so that, you know, someone
safer.
Yeah, it's much safer. And then focus on like building infrastructure, because linked to that also is like you hear a lot of like what livable wage. Okay, great, but you got to have industry. Industry creates businesses, jobs, and then livable wage. Like you got to have that. So I again like to focus on the people who are currently walking around and alive right now, and like set them up to win, so that maybe we can have less of those
situations.
decisions. Yeah.
You know, I was adopted when I was 3 days old. So you know, I'll never forget in 22 when I went in to meet with Right to Life. Their whole board was there, and you know, it's always tense, right?
Yeah.
Because of course they support Republicans because we don't believe in abortion. But you know, I in my mind there are some legitimate reasons to have an abortion or whatever. But I walked into the room and I just told them, and I said, I'm just going to break the ice here. I said, I'm going to tell everybody in the room, everybody on your board, I was adopted when I was 3 days old. So clearly I don't believe in abortion.
Yeah.
I said, or I wouldn't be here to have this discussion with you.
Sure.
So, you know, let's just start with that. And you know, it went fine. I think the other concern, and this is just, I'm only bringing it up because I just know they're going to run this up the pole, and that is the transgender, you know, thing. I'll give you my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're 21 years old and you decide you want to go and have your junk cut off and you want to have, you know, new bolt-ons put on, whatever you want to do, absolutely great. You go do that. And maybe even, you know, 18, 20, whatever that magic number is.
Sure.
When it comes to kids and when it comes to schools and when it comes to teachers, you know, basically convincing let's say a 7-year-old that, oh, you're not feeling right today, so maybe you're meant to be a girl, and then not telling their parents.
Right.
I draw the line.
Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely. I think every teacher that supports that kind of garbage should be fired. And it's probably a good thing I'm not governor,
right?
Because we lose a lot of people.
So you might gain some though too. There's a lot of folks who don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Even then.
But on the same note, I'm not anti. I don't have any issue with gay rights or any of that stuff. Just be old enough.
Sure.
Right. And to make that decision, I don't even want to cross the line into gay rights because that's not fair. I want to say mutilation of kids.
Yeah.
That's where and I think you feel the same way.
100%.
But I'd like to hear your opinion.
Well, you're starting to see this, and it's been a few years now, this separation between LG and the B, and mature teens who are like, wait, I didn't sign on for this. What I wanted was the ability to get married, be myself openly without being harassed or what have you, be able to work, etc. But now this has the very thing that I remember in the 90s when we were working to get gay rights, that the slippery slope, that you're going to come after kids. And any logical person was like, no, of course not. We, not interested in that. Well, then, dang, now you come around and prove their point.
And
so
they did
like, what? Okay, you're making us look like a bunch of weirdos. Like, and for us, just normal gays, we're, as a butch lesbian and so non-gender conforming, and always have been, always Oshkosh bagosh and my cars and trains and trucks, and I was always like, that was my thing. I never wanted ponytails and butterflies and that type of thing. And so then because of that, I should lop off my bits off. Like, what happened to just being butch or an effeminate gay? Like, we are now, I don't know if you remember Will and Grace. Like, that was one of the big shows that I feel like helped like America kind of lock in on, just Jack and that fabulous, flashy gay boy, and just allowed people to like connect with the gay lifestyle without it being like, and they're coming for you, and and like made it more relatable. I agree with you 100%. If you're an adult, do as you please. I would recommend it, but you're of age, do whatever you like. But when it comes to children, it's just like anything. When we hear about child abuse of any type, people feel very strongly about. There's just like this natural urge to like, no. I was even talking to my barber today, young guy, 20 something years old, and I brought it up, and he was like, "Oh no." I mean, it's not. It feels like it's just natural to human. That human instinct of like, no, we got to protect children.
I'm glad to see that you have a barber that's similar to mine.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're looking a little shaggy.
I'm a little long right now. And by the way, if you're ever in town and you need a barber, Josh Frazier is probably the best barber I've ever gone to.
Okay.
But to get into his shop, it's like you got to wait for the next 2 hours.
Oh Lord.
But people do.
Wow.
We get on the list. I'll sit there. I'll wait 2+ hours, and he's just awesome. That's all I can do.
Okay.
Trent, I have been overriding your questions. I know you
go
have
for
some.
it.
No, I just, I'm going to shift the gear just a little bit. But first comment is, to your point about the surgeries, is they also use testosterone therapies and stuff like that. Coming out of I was a strength athlete, and so I've been around. I was in the gym when steroids. You went to the refrigerator. I never took them, but I knew women that did, and women predominantly took testosterone. And the women I knew back then that took, they're all dead.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not only all dead by things like heart attack and everything. The big killer was suicide. And yet they're giving our kids testosterone therapy at 14, 15 years. Yeah, that's wacko.
Yeah, absolutely, 1000%.
But I want to shift gears a little bit. One of the things, are you seeing, like I'm seeing down here, being the chair of the Republican Party, I'm seeing almost a renaissance in paradigm shift in the voters. We've seen this.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that up there to that degree?
I mean, it's easy because the media will focus on no kings.
Right.
And you get that a lot. But then when you see something like what just happened with the referendum signature gathering, like, again, Northwest Portland, about as blue as you can get, people are literally just looking at their bills and saying, like, I literally can't afford it.
Right.
I mean, rocks are hard and water's wet. It really is. Like,
you're exactly right.
That's a good way to put it.
It's just like math is math. Like that's universal, and it really is. Like you get to a point where one of the things that I mentioned sometimes is like the silver tsunami. Like, are people's kids or grandkids moving back? And if not, why? Where are they going? Oh, Nashville. Oh, to Austin. Oh, by Miami or wherever, Florida, South Carolina. Why? Can't afford it here.
Can't afford to live here.
But, I told you, I've got that friend who's a contractor in Dallas. Up here, they do a subdivision, might have 10 to 20 homes.
Sure.
He's doing 3,500 and 4,000 home subdivisions, and he can't build them fast enough.
Can't do it fast.
Well, and the problem here too, and there's many problems developing. I know the governor says we got 36,000 houses a year to keep up. We can't even get halfway there.
Yeah.
And it's a zoning issue. It's a regulation issue. We continue to pass ridiculous climate resolutions and issues, regulations, basically, that make it too expensive. And builders, hell, just being a union shop. I mean, nobody wants to work in this state because it's ridiculous. Right. Of course, you got to go. You go back to what is it? I forget the breakdown now. It's like 25% now. I think it is that they have to be, if they're union shop or whatever, they have to meet the DEI requirements. All the different things. It's like, just like ODOT, $29 million in the biennium on and when Kotek talks about how we're not going to be able to afford to plow the roads. Well, that $29 million that employed 200 people.
Right.
So that would be half of the people she threatened to lay off if they just stopped with the DEI and actually had an HR department, which they do.
Right.
So it's just, and I'll just be honest, that's all I ever am. But Kotek's lied. I mean, she absolutely lied about this whole thing, and I think she knew that this was going to get shoved back at her because 90% of the state didn't want this.
Sure.
So I think she did it because her supporters forced her to do it.
Yeah.
I think they said, you're coming up on election year, you're going to need campaign funding, you're going to need our support, and she just acquiesced to it and said, yeah, okay, and then threw this out there. It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get a lot of people,
Yeah.
voting against or voting for the Republican. Hopefully, we have a good candidate. That's yet to be seen who's going to be the final one.
Sure.
We have plenty.
Yeah. Right.
Trent, sorry again, I stepped on you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's okay. That's okay. I'm just excited to see, this is something Virgil and I talked about. Was one of the things that when he was just, the guy at FCC Furniture and I was just the insurance dude up the road, we were eating pizza and drinking beer and go, what's our long-term goal? To help other people effectively help other people.
Sure.
And I see this, that, this is an inroad to what we talked about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just, to me, it's exciting to see how that has formed itself.
Mhm.
And then, for you, I guess one of the questions is, where do you go from here on that? What is part of that are you going to take to your Northwest Portland
Sure.
and, get people that vote blue to vote for you?
Again, like rocks are hard and water's wet, and the math is a math thing, and people can see with their eyes, no matter, no Donald Trump, no President Trump, we're not on fire, we're not a war zone. I don't mind saying that. I will say it to his face. Okay, so you got that. Because I get, will you push back against Donald Trump? I mean, I'm not owned by any person.
Right.
If he says something out of pocket, I'm going to be like, that's not true.
Right.
Also, we're not fine. Okay, so
we're a long ways
stop.
from fine.
Right? Like taking
Not
a
even close
picture,
to fine.
running around taking a photo of a blade of grass, and saying, like, we're fine. Look, it's green. And it's crazy. But, and people know that and people feel that. The fact is simply the majority of the people who have to walk the streets and go about their business. I mean, I'm in Northwest Portland, but, the district is downtown, Northwest, Forest Park. Going into parts of Washington County, parts of Beaverton. And so those folks are a little less affected, but I mean, they still have to struggle with the homeless issue.
Yeah.
Just like any part of the metropolitan area that has to contend with it, still has to contend with, finding jobs, building industry. Your tax base is leaving left and right. So it's like,
bringing industry back.
how do you bring industry back? Again, like I said, you got to make it safe. It's not, and it's more than just, it's a public safety issue. It's a public health issue. Like just a few weeks ago, we had one of our illustrious city councilors try to defund street cleaning, $4 million. It's like, really?
Do what with the 4 million?
Do what? I don't know. You know what? Give it to fund like rent assistance, which the county actually already does, like great amounts of money. But, thankfully, again, you started to see a huge backlash of Portlanders came out from all across the city. It was like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Right.
we got to have clean streets. So, unless you want to be Typhoid Mary of the 21st century, like, what are we doing here?
That'd be New York. That's what's going to happen in New York.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Rip New York. I know.
No kidding.
Shout out to Queens. But, long story short is that the story is just like, listen, are you better off now than you were?
No.
No, we're not. We're not better off. The state's not. The state's in
Yeah.
trouble. But the country's better off now. I mean, we're doing some really smart things across the country. I think abandoning the whole climate issue like the Trump administration did and taking the focus off electric cars and
Mhm.
all that other garbage, it has made a difference in our economy, certainly helped our stock market. I
Mhm.
mean, if you look at your 401k lately, it's done much better in the last year
Mhm.
than it did the prior 4.
Mhm.
So,
Well, and you're seeing investment back into cities
Yeah.
Yeah.
like never before. I mean,
Sure.
it would be nice if Oregon became investment friendly again. It used to be a great place. You talked about we talked about
Yeah.
this. I used to love to go downtown Portland.
Mhm.
In the evening, my wife and I, when we were young,
Yeah.
we'd walk down there. My brother lived up there, and we'd go to McCormick and Schmidt's.
Oh, yeah. And they
Yeah.
closed last
Yeah.
April
Damn,
by the
I'm
river.
gonna swear. Yeah,
well,
I
you
love that
lost.
place.
You also lost. Oh gosh, what was the brewing company downtown? It used to be really
Windermere.
popular.
Oh.
No.
Not Windermere.
It was Rock Bottom Brewery.
Rock Bottom.
Oh,
that was
wow.
one of my
Brewery went
favorite
out a couple
places.
years
Yeah.
ago.
They lost, I think they lost Henry Weinhardt's now too, I think. Also, a while back, the PF Chang's went too.
Ooh.
Oh,
So,
no kidding.
yeah.
I
Listen,
love that
we're
place.
coming down to the last 10 minutes, and I just hate it because I could talk this stuff all night long,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I do have a few other things I want to
Sure.
announce. So let's just do that real quick. So a couple of things happened today. We talked about helping our community, and I would be remiss without mentioning this. I asked the 3 commissioners to help out with the canned food drive today, and they all 3 did enthusiastically. They literally went with me, and we went into Sherm's and we shopped for food. We also had Alex Carlatos, representative from just south of here. We had David Brock Smith, our senator, and then we also had Court Boyce. Everybody pitched in, along with my company, Twin Peaks Off-Road, and my staff, my chief of staff for the legislature, and my entire crew. We all went downtown and we shopped, and we spent, I don't know, over $2,000. I don't know how many pickup loads of food we have, and we're not even to our main event yet. So Friday at Champagne Creek Ranch, we are having our annual food drive, which happens the day after Thanksgiving every year. And we'll combine all that food, and we're going to give that food to the food banks here locally. Commissioner Freeman and Representative Scarlatos, and I believe Commissioner Boyce, are going to work with a food bank down in South County as well. So, I mean, these are the kind of things that people do that, I mean, I love our commissioners for putting in this effort. I mean, I don't even know where to get the food to, but they knew. As soon as I called them, as soon as I engaged them in conversation, they all 3 were happy to help. So I just wanted to mention them. I appreciate Commissioner Freeman, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Press. Thank you all for today, for the efforts you put into this. And I hope people see this. I mean, we were in a store. Everybody was stopping. Hey, what are you guys doing? We had a train of shopping carts full of food. So it was fun. And then also we have a couple of interesting things coming up. We have the Reagan dinner.
Trump Reagan dinner this Saturday.
Yeah, is it sold out?
Just about.
Okay.
It just about sold out. Of course, you're going to be one of the speakers and the hosts.
Yep.
It's going to be a great night. We're going to thank some long-term volunteers and some people there. And I'll probably do it again, but I want to shout out now also our Douglas County volunteers for this. Just in little Douglas County, we got over 7,000 signatures.
Wow.
Well, and again, I'll name a few of them that I saw, but everybody helped. But Elaine Lavington was out there just rocking it.
Sean Garrett. Donna
Sean's
Torres.
incredible. I mean, the guy puts out. I mean, he reminds me of you. The guy has energy, like unbelievable amount of energy for the party. Even I saw Rob Price. I think in Reedsport.
I think so.
He was working.
I sat at Looking Glass Brewery with our friends last week for 2 hours and got almost 100 signatures.
Right.
Yeah.
And so people were going, "Oh, can I do that?"
Yeah.
And so I was hooking them up with Elaine's one of our captains.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited where we're going. I told them I want to get over 10,000 out of Douglas County.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is
we're not done.
No, but
So-
it's all been part of that, and we're seeing not a party come together. We're seeing Oregonians come together.
Well, we're seeing Democrats leave the party, and that's cool.
Yeah.
They're coming. I mean, you guys did had 6 of them, I think, in the last
one
week
day.
or something like that.
Really?
That switch parties.
Yeah, and we've seen many, many more this year. And it's not because we're soliciting them. It's just been a result of us being out in the community and talking to people.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to acknowledge somebody that continues to comment on here, and he's a very good friend of mine, Dwayne Waller. Dwayne, thank you for your comments. I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to get so much information tonight. I think his first comment was something about wait till they try to take your kicker tax. We're going to fight that, and if we have to go to blows to keep that from happening. The Constitution says they can't do away with the kicker. It doesn't say they can't change where the money goes. And they tried with the wildfire funding. They tried to do that. We were able, as a Republican Party, we threw a big enough fit. We were able to stop that, and so they changed their funding, and that's a whole nother day for a whole nother discussion. Also, Dwayne brought up the point that Phil Knight just donated $3 million to the Republican Party. Now that went to Greg Walden's PAC, which is I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I hope that Greg gets in the game early this year. Or the campaign next year, not only for the governor's candidate, but for everybody else included. And I think I was kind of hard on him in 22 or 23 because he waited too long.
Mm.
You know, and I do believe now, on the other hand, he also helped Cyrus Javity get elected, which is unfortunate now.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the time he was a Republican. So, but yeah, I think Walden's PAC pumped in, I don't know, $500,000 into his campaign, because that was a hold seat for us. And I think we'll get that seat back. But, so anyway, Dwayne, thank you for commenting. Thanks for watching us, Dwayne. I always appreciate you. Dwayne puts on the Sutherland Blackberry Festival. He's part of that whole thing. Amazing event. If you guys haven't been to it, you need to go. It's really cool to have something kind of for everybody. And if you're into mud racing, I'm always there. I don't think I've missed one in probably 20 years. So it's a good time. With that said, I'd like for you to close if you have anything you would like to bring up.
Look, working class candidate, mom, dad, again, working class people taught me to work hard, give my best efforts at everything I do, leave things better than I found it. And if you want to donate, volunteer, go to SeattleThompson.com, and all of the options are there for you. My platform is there for you. And reach out, call me if you want to chat.
Yes, for sure. And we need to make sure we're able to get your contact link up.
Yeah.
You have made a lot of fans tonight.
I love it.
I realize they can't vote for you, but they can certainly help.
You know, they know a guy in Portland, so, you know, spread the word if you know family and friends.
I mean, it's amazing. I love your energy. And Tracy Vandola, awesome lady. She just said, I'm very impressed with Seattle. So, you know what? If Tracy likes you,
Okay.
That's a good thing.
that's a good thing.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Tracy. Your money's still good in Portland, so just know that.
Trent, you got anything to close?
I just want to again thank everybody in Douglas County and everybody that's listening for your hard work on this. It's just, I've been just bouncing off. Of course, we were together all weekend, and that's all we talked about. I mean, pretty much. But I also want to say, if you like what you're hearing, everybody, get on tonight, like, share, subscribe in that order. Help us get the word out. I even got a friend in Africa that has been spreading the word for us. His buddy that went to school. Well, he went to college with my oldest son, Aaron.
Yeah.
And he's using some of the stuff that we talk about to work with he's very influential in the government over there, and has been using those concepts that for us, it's not a concept, it's our way of life.
It's our way of life. And I think, I mean, the most important thing, obviously, I represent the people that put me in the seat, right? And I was born and raised right here in Roseburg, and I think it's important that we keep our rural way of life intact.
Right.
And again, I wish I had more time to talk about it, but we are basically getting attacked all the time, right? They want to take away all of our rights. I think we're a nuisance to the folks up in your district. So hopefully you can bring some common sense to it. I do want to mention, because I didn't quite get the whole name out, Donna Torres, you are a rock star. You have done some amazing things. I see you just commented on there. Rob Price was working with you down there in Myrtle Creek. Thank you for everything you've done. I think thank you to the Republican Party, but not just the Republican Party. I mean, we also had, Bob Murray. He put up a booth on his place. Gosh, there were so many.
Mark Jones, I think, was taken.
Katie
Mark
Jones. Mark and Katie. Yep. At their place. And all of those things matter.
Yeah.
I mean, this community pulled together. We did amazing things, and it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. We just did amazing things together to protect our rights and keep our taxes, hopefully, from going up. So with that, again, I hate to close, but we're coming up on the end of our time, and this is rebroadcast on the radio, so we can only do an hour at a shot. We're going to have to probably do some 2-hour shots here eventually, because I got too much to say.
Yeah, we'll come back in the second hour.
Second hour. So again, I want to thank our sponsors, Andrea Williams, Advocare, amazing product, amazing person. Becky Holm Insurance, very trustworthy. And I know people don't like insurance agents, but that one's a good one. Well, yeah, Trent's all right too. We like Trent. And again, Twin Peaks Off-Road, my company. If you have a 4-wheel drive and you have any issues at all with your drivetrain, everything with the engine, we work on all that stuff. We're pretty good at it. Been doing it a long time. We've been in business now over 12 years. So feel free to call us. We're online at twinpeaksoffroad.com. We're also in the, you can call us, call our number. I won't give you the number. It's there. And Little Mill Media, who puts on this show and is doing a great job for us. We appreciate them. And with that, I am going to have to say, you all have a good night. and have a great week and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy
And
Thanksgiving.
yeah, and we will see you all next week. And thank you so much for
Of
joining us.
course, my
So,
pleasure.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's been awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
right on. All right, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Is your 4x4 ready for the trail? Twin Peaks Off-Road is your first stop for maintenance, repairs, and custom upgrades. From differential services to winch installs, we do it all. Fast, reliable, and built for adventure. Don't wait for breakdowns in the backcountry. Call Twin Peaks Off-Road today at 541-900-0015 or visit twinpeaksoffroad.net. Keep your 4x4 off the roads and in the adventure.